Be sure to keep your pets top of mind when it's extremely cold outside, especially if the temperatures drop below 20 degrees. Veterinarian Dr. Craig Pryor is here with some cold weather safety tips for pet owners out there. As always, good to have you with us here in the month of January. Let's chat a bit about making sure that our pets are taken care of. We usually think about the fact that, okay, in the summertime we've got to bring them in, but also they can get hypothermia or frostbite as well.
Even with a fur coat on, they can. And you know, I think the logical thing is, if you don't want to be outside, neither is your pet. So let's just get them in and do the right thing by them. But if they're not, then let's take some precautions. And, you know, one big thing is that water bowls will freeze. So now they've got nothing to drink, especially metal water bowls, which are not the best thing for them. So let's make sure that they've got a source of water so they can keep hydrated. Otherwise, you just made the problem worse. And then we've got to be able to make sure that they can get out of the cold. And so you need to make sure that they have a shelter there that not is only out of the cold, but also out of the wind. And so, you know, they need a shelter that they walk into, and then it turns so that it's away from the breeze. But you don't need a huge shelter for a small animal, because then they're trying to heat that whole shelter. The shelter needs to be size appropriate and small if it's a small animal, you know, just a little bit larger than the size of the animal, because then they can heat just that small space and keep themselves warm. They make heating sources for animals now that are safe.
Oh, okay.
And so you just don't want to throw a heating blanket out there or a heating mat, because you could actually end up with a thermal burn on that animal as well. So you've got to make sure you use animal appropriate heating pads that are safe for them. Cats would like to get up in engines, and because it's warm up there.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I don't think people think about, the fact that if they're looking for a warm place to go, that warm engine of a car may be a very good attraction for them.
You know, it's often just best when you're going up to your car in the morning, or any time when it's cold out, just bang on the hood of the engine. If there's a cat there, you'll scare it and they'll get out. Otherwise, you got major issues on your hands for that kitty cat. You know, antifreeze is toxic for dogs and cats, so there is now a animal safe antifreeze. So if you're changing antifreeze, let's make sure you use the right one and you clean up appropriately. Salt that's used for the snow and ice can be dangerous to them as well.
What about rock salt as people are trying to de-ice sidewalks? Is there anything that's pet friendly there?
Yes, there is. So just, you know, try and get all the pet friendly stuff for them. Make sure you wipe your pet's paws up really well after they come in, because if they've got rock salt or anything else on them, it can cause an irritation of their paws as well.
Let's say you end up in an unfortunate situation where maybe the animal has maybe taken in some of the antifreeze or some of the rock salt and begins to get ill. Best things to do immediately before getting them to the
so induce vomiting if you can. So, you know, like a mill of hydrogen peroxide per pound is all you want to do. And so immediately try and get them to throw up, and then get them straight to your regular vet. If your regular vet's not open, the National Pet Emergency Clinic, we've got 12 South Rivergate in Murfreesboro. They're open when your regular vet's closed. All
right. And again, just stressing the fact that make sure the animals are taken care of. In the summertime, we talk about not leaving the animals in the cars in the summertime, but that's also equally important in winter as well.
And also, you know, if you've got an animal that's outside, their caloric intake is going to be higher, so they're going to need to eat more, because they're burning more calories trying to keep themselves warm. So make sure you feed them appropriately.
All right. As always, some great information for us.
My pleasure.
Thank you so very much. Dr. Pryor is with the Murphy Road Animal Hospital if you would like to get in touch with him.